I'm searching the web for the latest gaming news. Searching GameZillaMedia.com. Downloading headlines.
Alexander, what about this monster story of yours?
Download complete.
If you don't like, if you hate your wife or you just are tired of the relationship you're in, all you need to do is play Fortnite. That's clearly the message here, as a website in the UK has shown that Fortnite addiction has contributed to 5% of all UK divorces this year. That's right.
That's sad.
That's right.
That's sad.
Are 15-year-olds getting married in the UK and then they're getting divorced when Fortnite takes over?
Right, exactly. Fortnite is being held partially responsible for the breakdown of a rising number of marriages. A press release from UK-based website divorceonline.co.uk suggests around 5% of all UK divorces so far this year have, to some extent, come as a result of addiction to online games, including Fortnite Battle Royale. Now, the reason why Fortnite got picked out here is, yes, it's the biggest game in the world right now, but in these divorce filings, the word Fortnite was actually in the reports.
No.
Come on.
I mean, the key problem is, if you were married to a Fortnite boy, you should probably should have been married to a man. Play a man game like Rocket League.
Ooh, shots fired.
Shots fired, yeah. Fortnite's for boys.
Oh, boy. The press release states that since the company behind the website has been investigating a number of divorce petitions referencing Fortnite since seeing a rising trend throughout the year. They've received something of 200 divorce petitions since January 2018 where addiction to Fortnite and other online games
200?
has been cited as one of the reasons.
Wow.
But the interesting thing, though, that this equates to roughly 5%, and they did the math here. Yeah, here it is. Divorce Online claims to handle 5% of all online claims to handle 5% of all divorces filed in England and Wales. If we're to assume that their findings can be expanded across the rest of the UK, online gaming addiction could be responsible for as many as 4,000 divorces a year, just in the UK.
Online gaming, 4,000 divorces.
Just in the UK. Using the their sample size.
Oh, I know why. It's always raining in the UK. There's nothing to do, so people stay inside all year. There's no outdoor season like there is here in Michigan, and all there is online video games to play.
The article closes out that Fortnite Week 9 challenges are out now, so you can get to work on them if you still need to earn those battle stars. That said, it might not be such a great idea. Maybe go spend some quality time with your significant other instead. So this brought me to, we've talked about gaming being defined as a mental illness and addiction. We've talked about
playing Fortnite's a mental illness.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, we've talked about kids that they can't even put the controller down, so they just wet themselves, and they're 15, 16 years old.
I've been doing that for years.
30 years old.
Yeah, we have dropouts. People that have stopped going to school. People that have attacked their parents when they tried to take the game away from them. A lot of it was younger age. And now I guess I never thought about the impact it might be having on adults and professionals with careers and things like that, where, I think of the people that I've known in my life that have I've watched their life fall apart because of drugs. And I'm like, wow, this video game is doing the same thing to these people. It's the same as heroin, for God's sakes. I'm like, okay.
That seems like a little bit of a stretch.
I mean, I'm just saying, I watched someone fall apart because of heroin, and when I read what's happening here, you're literally throwing your marriage away because of a video game. Which, when I think of this person who had a nice, a lovely wife and 2 kids who left them because of heroin, so it's the same result. You're losing your life. To me, it's worse because I guess I don't understand.
It's sadder in some regards that I mean,
when you take a substance and you ingest it, right, or you inject it or whatever, like there's chemical reaction, like, and I'm not saying that staring at a TV and having something like you're not getting some sort of reaction, but I feel like it's hard. Like to me, it would be harder to do that for that to happen. I don't know, but again, it's happening, and that blows my mind. That moving forward, this is going to become a more common reason why marriages fall apart, why careers are lost, why people end up homeless. Why are you homeless? Oh, I played Fortnite until I lost all my money.
Yep, that's going to be a problem for people that can't get it together. People can have addictive personalities, and you get it's similar to I got addicted to video poker and now I'm homeless.
That's true, but with that factor of gambling in there, though, where you're throwing money at it, here it's like you're literally throwing it's time.
Yeah.
It's the fact that your wife or your significant other you're not paying attention to them. Like that's really what's falling apart, and probably your health and hygiene and everything else. I mean,
still none of that's as bad as being on heroin.
But see, why I say it's worse is because it's happening. Where like it's happening over like this is happening instead of heroin.
But you don't die. Heroin, you die.
I mean, you could die. If you
not like heroin.
I mean, well, no, not like heroin.
I don't think video games and the opiate epidemic is even remotely comparable.
Yeah, I think we're
like addiction's
addiction.
I get that addiction's addiction, and the problem comes from being overly addicted to anything. Being overly addicted to anything is going to be a problem.
It's an extreme comparison.
But I don't think that opiates.
I guess to me, like I think you're taking this the wrong way. I'm not saying it's as bad as the drug addiction, like number wise. What I'm saying is it's worse because like it should never happen. Like it's I just to me like
that's why I said sadder. It's in
sadder,
some ways
yeah.
It's sadder because it's more understandable to be like, wow, that person injects chemicals into their arm and they lost their life. Is a lot more like, okay, I connect A, B, and C and go, okay, that's sad. That makes sense. Johnny boy came home.
JazzE boy
came home with with a PlayStation and played Fortnite until his wife and kids left. Like that is like no, there's a point in there where none of that makes any sense. That's what makes it sadder to me.
Right, but I mean, it does come down to, and I mean, we all know this. It comes down to technology, and I just saw that shoot across on the Twitch channel too. People are so addicted to things like their phone. Like, I forgot who did the research a few years back, but there was like a person will drive twice as far and be late to work to turn back and get their phone they forgot than their wallet. They literally will drive illegally over their not having their phone. And so, like, I mean, how many times I brought this up before? Like, I went to like a pizzeria with Jade, and we're sitting there having a conversation. And I look over and here's this table of like, pee-wee hockey players. And I'm like, oh, I remember when like I was on the soccer team and the whole soccer team would go out for something. And they're all sitting there with tablets and phones, just buried in their individual little bubble. None of them are communicating with each other, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
All their little middle school girlfriends, the relationships are crumbling.
It's true. That's what I mean. There won't be a relationship.
Their dog left them.
They won't even know how to have a relationship. They'll be too busy.
They didn't play fetch with Fido because they were too busy playing Fortnite.
That's right. So the addiction to technology is ever growing. I mean, we have such easy access to the internet and apps and everything in so many different forms now that you're right. Eventually, there's going to be some sort of breaking point. But to see video games now in that light where it's causing divorce is I don't know. I guess growing up, I never would have thought that this is where we're at.
Is it fair to say the game is causing divorce, or people's inability to like make the right decision for their marriage is causing the divorce?
Well, they'll blame. I mean, just like they'll blame the drug.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what this is at, right? I mean, if the significant other writes on the piece of paper the word Fortnite, then I mean, yes, there is a person that should pull themselves away and realize there's more to life. But the person that filed for divorce put the reason down as Fortnite.
Yeah, you're right.
They are blaming the game at that point. If that game, when it came along, yes, he liked video games, but he never liked video games like this until Fortnite came along. And that's true. We've never heard of like some of these stories that are coming out, like a kid stabbing his mom in the back with a kitchen knife because she took his console away. I've never heard this. So, I mean, like it is crazy, but I mean, this is the way we're trending. And I mean, I don't know. Hopefully humanity can kind of realize it and pull themselves out of it before we go jumping into like a pit where there's just like, I don't know. I think of movies like Looper or whatever, where it's like everybody's just obsessed with being in VR and they just live in, or even Ready Player One, just live in a world that's not real.
In a very real moment of honesty, before we get off this subject, it was, I don't know. I felt like it was about 4 months ago now. It was shortly after I moved into my house that something in my like head kind of clicked, and it's one of the reasons I didn't buy any of the Destiny DLC. Is I'm like, do I want to get back into like a game that motivates me to want to stay up till 1 a.m. playing, or would I rather spend more time with my wife? And I'm going to be 100% honest. I had like the thought process in my head, and I made the conscious decision to go, maybe I'm not as interested in playing online multiplayer games as I am with just spending time with my wife. And I don't know. I've been pretty happy kind of staying away from some of the online multiplayer games. And, as much as I love playing them with everyone in the group, I made the decision to be like, I'm going to stay out of Destiny for a while because I'd rather spend time with my wife, especially with summer coming around the corner, spending more time outside. It's been really nice. I think I've been more mentally clear by not feeling like I'm drawn into playing a game for hours on end.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, this is the same thing why I kind of stepped away from Fortnite. I stepped away from a lot of these online games. Destiny's really the only one that I still play.
You could play Rocket League, but you don't.
And I play Rocket League at lunch every day with you. But, like besides, like I play League, and now I play some Destiny. And so, but I did move back into that, like, I'm going to play Guacamelee 2. I want to play The Messenger. I want to play Metroidvania games, right? And I also am enjoying playing some games with my wife again, where it was like, we had kind of like, the game room, when we first built the game room, it was like a couch with 2 TVs right next to each other, and everything was like, it was like nice and cozy, and we sit on the couch and we play games when we wanted to, and then we go out, go do other things when we wanted to. And then all of a sudden it was like, I moved my system over here and I built these different, different monitors and everything. And I was like, and I got these nice headphones that give me these really amazing sound. And before I knew it, I was completely blocked off from her, even though we sat in the same room. And I didn't even realize it at first until she said something about it. Like, hey, this kind of sucks. Like, because even though we're in the same room, we're like, we don't communicate unless I join the party chat. And I was like, you're right, So, like, honestly, we've thought about redoing the whole game room, too, just because it's like, well, if I want to stream or something, that just needs to be in a different spot. It doesn't need to be in the game room. Like, let's just have fun and game there. But you're right. Like, I caught myself in that same trap where it was like, wow, I've put, like, hundreds of hours into Destiny 2, and then it disappointed me after hundreds of hours of Destiny 1. I'm like, do I really want to go down this road still? And that was the same thing with Fortnite. I'm like, I'm not very good at Fortnite. I'm not going to get better at Fortnite, that much better. And all you do is the same thing over and over and over again, and you throw your whole day away playing it. And I'm like, yeah, I'd rather like enjoy a story, or I'd rather watch a movie with somebody or whatever. So I agree with you 100%. I think you have to be careful with those types of games because they will just consume so much of your time.
So the important wrap-up PSA is, if you're a guy or a girl listening to this and you have a significant other, take a moment and evaluate what makes you happy. And if you honestly say, like, I really am happier playing this game, that's fine. You can deal with how that affects your relationship down the road. But if you say to yourself, maybe I should pay a little bit more attention to my significant other, then you follow that itch and listen to yourself.
But if you're a guy or girl who does not have a significant other and is super cool with being up until super late in the evening playing video games, then you can find me on all the social medias and video. I'm Testonomics everywhere. You can find me online, whatever.
And